Video, I'm going to be breaking down a super simple trade that you guys could have taken advantage of during New York session. I know this breakdown is going to help a lot of you guys, so let's get right into it. So as you guys know, if you see my previous videos, if not, the first thing that I do when I mark up my graph, literally, like, I'm going to show you guys how I analyze the graph from scratch. So first things first, I go to M5 time frame and I mark the highs and lows of days. So we use our session based indicator. I have my settings on this and explanation on this in another video, so if you guys want to check that out and use the same settings as me, you guys could check that out in a previous video. But once you guys have these settings, so the next thing you want to do is mark the highs and lows of days. So for example, if we're trading today on Wednesday during New York session, our high and low of day is going to be coming from Tuesday. So the high and low of day is going to be the highest and lowest point between Frankfurt and New York session. Literally between these sessions, Asia session does not count, and it cannot be a point for, literally in between session. It has to be like, for as simple terminology, it literally has to be in a color, better said, like meaning that it's in a session. So for example, this is going to be the high of day right here. This is the high of day coming from Tuesday. Since we're trading on Wednesday, it's going to be one previous trading day. So this is the high of day right here. And then the low of days, the lowest point is this point right here. And again, guys, doing this on M5 time frame is the most accurate. So this is the low of day right here. And then notice how we're trading here Wednesday, the high and low of day is coming from Tuesday. So now we're going to draw the previous high and previous low of day, which is going to be two previous trading days, which is going to be the highest and lowest point coming from Monday. So same exact concepts, highest and lowest point from Frankfurt to New York session. This is the previous high of day right here. Previous high of day. Tommy's out of breath. This is the previous low of day right here, lowest point. Previous low of day. And then now we're just going to do like a top-down analysis. This is the first thing I do, just draw the highs and lows of days. And then I start from a higher time frame to a lower time frame, just breaking everything down, finding my direction. And then once I have my direction clear for the session, then I just look for my entry, which we're going to get into that right now. So I know this is going to help a lot of you guys. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe if you guys are finding this helpful. So this is what we're going to do here. Now that we have this drawn, let's go to the daily time frame. We're going to go to the daily time frame. Let me take this out and zoom out so you guys can see this. So notice how we have this area right here. Notice how we had it down here. I'm gonna show you guys. Let me draw this first. Notice how we have this area of supply on the daily time frame right here. You can see that gave us this huge push to the downside, this previous contrary candle right here that has not been touched. So this is a very valid area of supply that we're more than likely going to see price pull back to in the next few days. So keeping that in mind, let's go to H4. So check this out, guys. Notice how precise drawing the supply and demand zones like this is. So check this out. I'm a little out of breath. I just walked Tommy for 2 miles. All right, so check this out. So this is the area of demand. Check this out. That gave this push right here, this previous contrary candle. And notice how when price literally pulled back exactly to this, like to the pip of this area of demand, notice how price used this area to continue the bullish move. So we have this drawn. Now let's go to, let me see, let's go to H1. So now we drew our main supply on the daily that we're heading to, because we also have this one here too. So let me actually mark this one. So notice this one, we have this one on H4, this previous contrary candle as well. But the move originally, like this push right here, let me explain this to you guys. This one right here, this is where the push came from. So this is the more valid zone. This is just an area of supply that was created right here. But if you notice, this area of supply was created right here on H4, gave this push right here, only to get a pullback to give this continuation to the bullish move. So I know it might sound a little complicated, but what I'm saying is that this is the overall target here. This area of supply, if you see this right here, is more than likely just going to be used for a pullback, and then price is going to break. So keeping that in mind, now let's go to H1. Now let me mark this for you guys. Notice this. Notice how precise these areas are. So check this out. Notice this area of demand right here. This previous contrary candle right here. This previous contrary candle that gave this push. Notice how price pulled back exactly to this area of demand again to give this move right here. And I must explain to you why it's this area. And I know you guys are probably, or some of you guys are probably like, oh, isn't it this area here? If you notice the previous contrary candle, literally the previous contrary candle before the push is this one here that has not been touched, because yes, you could say it's this one here, but price touched it here. This is the one that has not been touched. So you want your area supply or demand when you draw them to not be touched. You want it to be touched when you're entering off of it to give the move. For example, this area is not touched here, and then it gives the moves. So if the area is not touched, it makes it more valid, better said. So now that we have this drawn, now let's go to M15 time frame and let me break this down for you guys. So let me replay this. Let me put my session based indicator and let me replay this. Like this. So this is what I was presented with this morning, and I'm gonna show you guys what I was analyzing and what I saw. So check this out. Notice how we have this void right here, that it's very likely price could fill this void, has area of demand right here, this previous contract candle that gave this push. So very likely we're gonna see price pull back to this area to continue the move to these higher time frame supplies. So in the bigger picture, we're waiting for a pullback to continue the move. Keeping that in mind, notice this. Notice how this area of demand right here was created during pre-New York. This area right here. This previous contract candle that gave this push right here. This is on M5 time frame. If we go to M15 time frame, you're going to see it as well. Notice how these time frames are in confluence. So I'm actually going to do it with a line so you could actually see how aligned they are. So look, this is M15 demand right here. M5 demand right here. This area right here. And then if we even go to M1 time frame, you're going to see how all these three time frames have an area of demand in confluence. So check this out. This right here. So just seeing this and seeing the volume that came out of this area, leaving these time frames in confluence with the demand zone, very likely that price was going to pull back to this area to continue the bullish move to the higher time frame supplies. So me personally, I placed my sell limit literally right here. Let me show you guys. I mean, not my sell limit, my buy limit right here, like this. This was literally my trade right here. So check this out. I'm placing it at the M15 demand zone because sometimes price will just pull back to this area and give the move. It won't pull back all the way to the M5 zone. But my mistake here, guys, I'll be honest, was that notice how the M1 demand zone and my stop loss are too tight. I honestly should have put a 10 pip stop loss. So check this out, watch. Right there. Okay, so check this out. Now let's replay. Check this out. All right, let me go back right here. So notice what happened. Look at this. Literally price tapped my stop loss. Like it literally tapped my stop loss, like not even more than a pip. And then price slammed take profit because news came in. But let's break this down. So notice how precise these areas are, guys. So check this out. Notice how literally price stopped me right here. Literally just took me out, and then take profit would have hit right here. It literally would have slammed for a 1 to 2. Now, honestly, this could have been avoided just by using a 10 pip stop loss. I honestly should have just used a 10 pip stop loss because the zone was too tight to this M1 demand. Notice if I would have used a 10 pip stop loss, this trade would have played out perfectly. I would have closed my 1 to 2, and that's it. But let me break this down for you guys because this is not just random. I like to be very precise. So notice how, yes, this area right here was a very valid area to take this buy. You get me? But let's see this. Notice this. This area of supply right here. Notice this area of supply right here. This previous contrary candle that gave this push right here during London. So this area was created during London. And then you can see when the news came in from here, the news literally pushed right into this area of supply. This area of supply. And then that's where the move came in from. But this was still a very valid trade for the buys. Literally a 1 to 2 trade is all you need. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you can see that I made 23% in 1 month, literally just closing 1 to 2 trades. Nothing more, nothing less. So this would have been a very, very valid buy right here. And then if you had a sell limit right here, this would have been very valid too. But honestly, news drove price here very quick. So I wasn't anticipating this right here. I was honestly looking at the buys, which they did play out. So I hope this breakdown was very helpful for you guys. If it was, leave a comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.